I've been taking steroids for 25 years. I started when I was 18. The reason I started was I was a competitive bodybuilder and I was willing to do whatever it takes to reach my goal. This is not making me look good right here, what I'm saying, but I'm just being honest and I'm being straight and I'm telling people the truth. I'm not telling people to take steroids. I'm not recommending it. In fact, I don't think it's a very good fucking idea to take steroids. You know, if you can stay natural for as long as you can, that's the way to go. You stay natural your whole life, that's the way to go. And my opinion is you should stay natural as long as you can.
If I wasn't a professional bodybuilder, I would, if I had not continued with my professional bodybuilding career at that point, that critical point where I went to Night of Champions, I wouldn't have taken steroids after, I would have stopped.
Right.
You know? And also there's a psychological side to it. Psychological addiction, perhaps, to steroids. It may be more than psychological, maybe it's slightly physical as well. But a lot of people get into this sport because of insecurity, because they don't feel good, and then they want to build up, to feel stronger, to feel more powerful. And, you know, steroids will allow you to take that to the next level, you know? So if your whole importance of self is built up in how big and muscular you are, you're never going to want to stop taking those steroids, because you're going to lose that when you can't, it's not, you know, you can't keep that level of development when you stop taking those hormones. You will come down to a degree. So, and there's going to be a crash, there's going to be a physical crash, there's going to be a mental crash. All those things you need to, you know, before you step on that merry-go-round, you need to think about those things.
You tried them and they worked. I tried them and god damn. Oh man, they worked. I had fucking super veiny, ass was so fucking hard. I tried to put the needle in my ass and fucking bent. The fucking needle bent. My ass was that fucking hard. And they'll hear that, and that will be the end of it. And those kids will rush out and they'll fucking want to try to get them some of this, because they will not hear that it made me fucking insane. They won't hear that part. They will not hear that I want to murder fucking people at a stoplight for looking in my fucking car too long. They won't hear that part. They won't hear that at the time I was married and my wife that I was married to was 5 fucking minutes late getting home. They won't hear that I was pacing up and down the fucking driveway waiting for her to get to that house so I could fucking kill her. They won't fucking hear that part.
If you weren't a bodybuilder and or competitive bodybuilder and you're just training at the gym,
No, not unless, like, if I had some bad injury and I knew that a certain one like Decadravlin might help the injury recover, something like that, then for that purpose, yes. But for the purpose of just taking them to walk around to look big and that, no, because I've never had a problem, like when I'm not on them. Like now, I've never had a problem keeping my size, training, and you know, most guys who I know who do compete in that prefer to be off. We know so many people who just take them all year round, and actually majority of them, there's a few that even Matthew I know, before they took the drugs they looked a lot better. Now they're on them all year round, they look fucking older, their hair looks bad, their skin looks bad, and they're bloated like pufferfish. They actually look worse now they're on them, but yet because they scales are going up 30 odd kilos, they think they're big, when really you just look like shit.
That opportunity was presented to me, I took it, and it fucking, you know, it damn near cost me everything. I don't do it because of the experience I had. It fucking made me a fucking loony ass, raving, lunatic, maniac, wanting to kill fucking people, asshole.
Did you stop right away in '97? Did you scale back? I mean, do you think...
You know what I did? Like, my normal, typical approach is black and white. So I actually just pretty much stopped, which was not the wisest decision,
right.
You know? My testosterone levels were very low. I was still married at the time, and we were thinking about trying for another child, and my sperm levels were nearly non-existent.
The most important thing at all is your mind, your mentality. That's the most important thing. You have to believe to achieve. And if you believe that you can accomplish those goals, you will. I just want people to realize that it's not necessary. It's not mandatory. You can accomplish your goals without it. As long as you're willing to work your ass off and willing to do whatever it takes, you can. Now, is it gonna take longer? Yes. Is it gonna be harder? Yes. And you know, you have to be willing to do that. Now, if I went back to 18 and I made a different choice and I decided not to take steroids, I would not have reached the size I did as quick as I had, but I feel inevitably over the 33 years that I've been training that I would be the same size I am now. And I'm just talking the logic here.
He was really open about what he was doing. Over time, I kept telling him, you're getting too big, you're getting too big, you don't need to be this big. No, yeah, I understand my followers, this is what they want to see. He was 280, 290 pounds, and he went up to 300 in a month. I said, you don't need to look any bigger. You look big enough the way it is. But that was him. He had to have this image, and he created this persona, and this, he had a charisma for sure, that people wanted to be like him or be around him. About a year ago, I mean, he'd come over and we'd sit and do my shows, and he was sweating like mad, breathing like this, and I don't think he hurt himself, but he had a hard time breathing. And I said, it doesn't look good, you know, I may be wrong, but it doesn't look good. Yes, I said, you been to the doctor? He says, yeah. He says, everything checks out, I'm in good health, blood pressure, everything. I said, okay, I'm just a little worried. I could tell that he wasn't getting any oxygen. So I never said another word, I just let it go. But when he passed away, it shocked me. I was definitely hurt by it, sad by it, but I wasn't surprised by it.
There's a drug called Nolatil, and this is the new drug that people are using. And this is, instead of filling the muscle with oil, it causes the muscle to inflame and swell. So it's your real muscle swelling up and becoming bigger. And this is something that people are using right now. This is something that's on the pro stage right now. And me putting it out there is probably not the best scenario, because there are people out there that don't have a lot of knowledge, that want to act like they're the first people to, you know, to educate people on something. They come out and they make it look bad. You know, they make bodybuilding look bad. But you know, that's the new drug, is Nolatil.
No one uses synthol anymore, and that everyone uses Nolotil, and he said that it doesn't work. And I got to just dispute this. First of all, I would say 75 to 80% of the top pros, and I'm being conservative, use synthol. I know it for a fact. The reason I know it is because I sell it on DavePalumbo.com, and I know who buys it. So unless they're buying it and just putting it on their shelf, that right there and then, it's wrong. Number two, Nolotil is not the same thing as synthol, and it's not better than synthol. It's something you can use the last week before a show. And unfortunately, for most people, Nolotil, just like the old Esicline, and if you guys remember, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I found some old Esicline in my house, like the last 4 bottles in existence, and I put a picture of it up on Facebook. But Esicline and Nolotil, which were substances, water-based substances, that is, that were injected into the muscle to enhance them in a rapid, fashion within a day or so, right before a show, are things that don't work on everyone. The reason I say that is because back in the day when it was readily available, that is Esicline, people used it and not everyone got good results. There weren't guys all walking around with huge arms. And the reason was, it doesn't work. Okay? It works on people with genetically superior muscle bellies. What do I mean by that? I mean that when you get a guy like Flex Wheeler, who's an admitted Esicline user, you get a guy like Phil Heath, who has genetically great arms, and you put something like Nolotil into it, or Esicline into those arms, it enhances them. It makes them bigger. It makes them look rounder. It makes them look shapelier. Okay? But when you give it to someone who has an arm that's lacking in size and detail, and you put that in there, it does nothing. It doesn't do anything. Believe me, I tried it back in the day when my arms weren't that big, okay? It didn't add that much.
You know, true bodybuilders that compete are not talking about fucking synthol. Nolatil is what people are using, all right? Now, Nolatil is also old fucking news. It's been around for 10 years. And, I have never used Nolatil myself. I've used Esicline, I've used synthol, I've never used Nolatil. I've helped numerous people get ready for shows with Nolatil. I'm very, very familiar with what it can do and what it does and how it works, and how to get the best results using Nolatil. So it's the same exact, it's for cosmetic purposes only. is to be used right before a show, and it works differently. Instead of filling your muscle up with a bunch of fucking oil, you're swelling the muscle up. Nolotil causes inflammation in the muscle and causes the muscle to swell. Now, you don't lose definition, you don't lose, you know, your definition, your cuts, you don't lose anything. It doesn't get blurred. It doesn't misshape the muscle. It just makes it bigger, rounder, and fuller. And, you know, it lasts, you know, it can last anywhere from 2 to 4 days, depending on the individual, their metabolism, and so forth. And if it's done right, you can get incredible fucking results. And nobody would be able to tell that you use Nolotil. Nobody. And there's a lot of people out there using it that nobody has any idea are using it. And that's the whole purpose. That's the goal. The goal is to use it without anyone knowing you're using it. You know, if people can point out and say whatever, then you're failing. You know, you're not using it right. You know, you can use synthol for the same. I've talked about synthol use, and again, I'm going to say that this is the only way you can use synthol is the morning of a show. You're injecting synthol under the fucking muscle, not in the fucking muscle. You don't want to fucking make the muscle look like oil. You're putting it under the muscle to lift the muscle up, right? So you're lifting the muscle up. So the muscle is bigger, higher, and rounder from the synthol. Now, please think about this shit. Think about it. Use your fucking brain right now, what I'm saying. If you put it in the fucking muscle, the muscle's gonna look like oil, correct? So I'm telling you, you put it under the muscle. What does it do? It lifts the muscle up. If you put 10 cc's of synthol under your bicep, it's gonna lift the bicep up. So when you flex, you're gonna see your bicep, but it's gonna be bigger, rounder, fuller, and higher. And it's gonna look better on stage. Now, just answer the question logically. Does that make sense? Yes, that makes sense. Yes. So forget about putting the fucking shit in the muscle. Does that make sense? No. Doesn't make any sense. Now, when you're putting oil in your muscle, you're blocking all the nutrients. I'm saying this shit again. You're killing off the fucking muscle. So what happens is you're gonna have problems. Eventually you're gonna have a doctor fucking slice that fucking shit open, go in there and fucking surgically remove the fucking shit in there. You know, and if you don't get that done, you will end up destroying the fucking muscle forever. And you know, to me, it makes perfect sense what I'm saying. And if you put a bunch of synthol in your biceps, you cannot go train back. It's not gonna happen. Your fucking arms are killing you. You'll probably end up tearing the fucking bicep. And the physical, when you see someone that's using synthol, you can see that it looks like shit. And it's obvious. And the problem is, what really bothers me is that there's millions of people out there that have tried synthol, used synthol, and there's been millions of bottles sold, but as far as I know, I don't know anyone that's used synthol. Nobody. You know, I don't know anyone that's used synthol because nobody admits it. Nobody will admit they tried it. Well, what the fuck? Why not make a video and just say, look, I tried synthol and it fucking didn't work. You know, I just want to explain what I discovered by using it. Is I put it in, I put however many cc's in, my muscle didn't look any bigger, but it looked blurred, it looked like it was oddly shaped, and it looked like shit. I measured it, and it was only a 1/4 inch bigger, and I was like, what the fuck? So then I went and I put fucking 6 cc's in, and then it looked even shittier. It looked even more blurred, and it looked even more misshaped, and I lost all my definition. Then I tried to put it in my trite, okay, why doesn't someone fucking make a video like that to explain to people that shit doesn't work? Now, the people out there who have done it, who have tried it, listen to this video right now, you know damn well it doesn't fucking work. You know that it's fucking bullshit, you know? And I just wish more people would do videos explaining this so we can fucking get rid of this synthol bullshit forever, you know? Make a video, explain your experiences with synthol so everyone else that hasn't tried it can watch your video, and next thing you know, we have 100 videos out there of people talking about how it doesn't work. Then this synthol thing will be done and over with. We don't have to listen to this bullshit anymore. So the legitimate people out there that work their ass off, that have fucking incredible arms, don't have to continue, you know, having people write synthol on their Instagram 24/7, you know? And nowadays, when everyone has a decent arm, the first thing people say is synthol, synthol, you know, and it's like, no, motherfucker, that's fucking hours of work in the gym. You know, that motherfucker's been working out for 25 fucking years, busting his fucking ass. You know, and it's not just, he didn't just fucking take a shot and then that's it. You know, he didn't have 20-inch arms in one day. You know, that's not the case. It never will be the case. So I'm just making this video because I'm so fucking sick of hearing about synthol. You know, and the point is nobody's even fucking using synthol. You know, Nolotil is what people are using. So if there's anything to talk about, it's Nolotil. Nolotil is what people are using. No one's using it. I haven't heard anyone that I know of talk about using synthol in the last 6 years. Nobody fucking talk about, you know, oh shit, Rich, I took a shot of synthol and this and that. I haven't heard no one talk about it. Nobody's using that shit. So all the fucking newbies out there, the fucking people that don't know what the fuck they're doing, no one's using synthol. The people that are using synthol are the amateurs that just get into the sport, don't know what the fuck they're doing. But I'm talking about on the national level stage, pro level stage, no synthol. The next time you watch a fucking pro lineup, you look, you're not gonna see any fucking synthol on a pro stage. That's what I'm talking about. So, you know, it's driving me crazy that people are still on this fucking synthol kick. Like, Jesus Christ, you know? People aren't using it. It's fucking done, over with. You know, 15 years ago is when synthol was being talked about. That's when people were using it. They were trying to find out what it is. They were curious about it. You know, they were like, what the fuck, have you heard about synthol? No, oh my God, oh, I'm gonna try it. That was 15 years ago, people. That shit's been done and over with. So the new people get involved in the industry, those are the ones that are, you know, talking about it and want to try it because they're new to the industry. So, you know, I'm asking people out there, why don't you guys fucking make a video fucking talking about your use so we can get it out there that the shit doesn't fucking work, right? You guys know it doesn't. The people out there that have tried it, that have put, you know, CC after CC in their arms and realize that it's a fucking waste, that it doesn't do anything. So that's what I'm asking. I'm asking people, why don't you guys fucking have some balls, make some videos talking about how, you know, it fucking doesn't work.